Hey, welcome back. Sorry for no upload this week. I just started summer semester classes and that has been kicking my butt all week long. We're picking up where we left off with the Arbiter and the mission amidst the snow on Delta Halo, so let's get right into it. A word to the wise, on MCC, don't immediately hop into a vehicle. During the first enemy encounter, an enforcer will come up very early on and it just loves to grab and crush whatever vehicle you're in. In the original, it doesn't do that nearly as often as you can see here, but on MCC it's definitely far more aggressive with that from what I've found. So once that's taken care of, I typically am then going to hop onto my favorite vehicle personally in Halo, which is the Spectre, although if you wish to not rely on an ally, then of course you could always hop in the Ghost instead. Now this room is a fun challenge up here as we have 3 Enforcer Sentinels, multiple Flood, and a variety of vehicles including tanks and several regular Sentinels on top of all of that. You can go slow and methodical, taking out each individually as you move up, or head straight to the rocket launcher like I typically do to get rid of the tanks and enforcers first, making the rest of the fights a lot easier. And the Sentinels just keep coming, with this courtyard area having more regular and enforcer Sentinels in addition to a small group of combat flood forms. Honestly, I just skip past this area, just like whenever I'm on a Ghost or anything at this point, or the Spectre either, or as long as I have a vehicle I just zoom right out of here. And then this next area is interesting as it's also filled with a lot of powerful enemies, yet they're a lot more active when fighting each other. So for the most part, the quicker you move, the easier it is to get past this area typically. I mean, between the Wraiths, Enforcers, and rocket-wielding Flood, it's a pretty dangerous area to hang around in for too long, you know. Hang through the tunnel here, and we see the ruins of that crashed ship that was actually in the skybox of the previous level, and it's actually just all ablaze, obviously in a wreck now. It's currently the battleground between the Flood and the Sentinels, and sadly at this block ahead, if we're in any big vehicle at the very least like a tank, we're gonna have to go on without it and ditch it here sadly. But we will have another tank segment later, so don't you worry. Continuing on leads us to this first of 2 similar styled rooms that we will come across on this level, each with progressively more Flood and Sentinels in between the areas. And so if you see this one here, the second one, it has no Sentinel beam lights or firing sound, unlike the first one that we just saw. It's just quiet and dark. Well, at least in Stuttgart. Once you start attacking the Flood, obviously it's no longer quiet, but you get the point. Thankfully, we didn't have to ditch the tanks for that long, as yet again we get another tank section, as I promised earlier. You could hijack the Wraith if you really wanted, or simply take the Scorpion in the corner of the area here. Of course, the lighter vehicles are going both on foot or both an option, although certainly not the easier ones, as this run is going to see us push past more Enforcers, Wraiths, Ghosts, Warthogs, and much more. After our second tank run in the mission comes to an end, we get to go up this platform to begin the gondola section. Speedrunners and often many repeat players will kind of cheese this by finding spots on this where they can hide where the Flood won't be able to reach them. But personally, I always find using the sword and the shotgun against just countless waves of Flood always so much fun that I find it too hard to resist, and that's typically what I'm going to do when I'm on this gondola, even though I repeat this campaign many times. I mean, this section will ultimately be the last combat section of the level, so why not, you know? I mean, obviously, I get why not for the speedrunners, but like, you know what I'm saying, like repeat players. Personally, I'm always just gonna fight this part, or even though most players probably would, and not too many repeat playthroughs, or at least as many repeat playthroughs as I do. Here we enter the Forerunner facility for the Icon finally, with the Flood and bodies already on the ground scarcely, which leads us to the concluding cutscene of this mission, and thus the end of the episode. We only have 4 missions left of the campaign to cover gameplay-wise, and then I'll cover the series with a set of videos covering the cutscenes, music, vehicle/weapon sandbox, and a few extras, all of which should bring the series to a total of 20 episodes. So yeah, hope you're all looking forward to that. The usual links and citations as always are in the description, and hope you all have a good one.